started. I do have a hard stop about 1:45 because I have to get my flu shot. So if there's more things to get through there, we don't get to everything, we can definitely circle back. You all know how to find me. I guess just before we start, I want to say that I'm happy to announce, and I think I can speak for the whole Lifestyle Committee, that on Tuesday, we were happy to announce that we have a new chairperson. Rita, she's with us now. We're very excited to have her on board. She has been coming to the meetings the last few months, and I think she's going to be great. So she'll be working with me and the committee, and the committee was very strong in, without having a chairperson since Mary Beth's passing, but we're very excited to have her in that role now. So, and then just circling back, this is like Coffee with Tyler, where I don't have a agenda. Or coffee. Espresso. It's more just open for you guys to ask me questions specific to more what I do. If you're going to ask me about maintenance and all that stuff, I can't help you. But if it's specific to what I do, I'd be more than willing to answer those questions and brainstorm with you guys. So with that, I'll open it to you.
Well, I'll just able to hear what other people have to ask.
What building?
This building. Yeah.
What, at Bradford Terrace?
Right.
They're working on the facade.
Okay.
Yeah, they're working on the facade.
Just around where the door is.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct, that whole side. Mr. Knadla?
Well, regarding the movie committee and the movies, last week we had quite a bit of downtime with the disconnect between being able to get into the Netflix and the Prime Video. And I sent 2 or 3 emails putting a deadline, if I could, of the 2 p.m. on Monday, or on Tuesday rather, for showing it was going to be on Wednesday when we absolutely needed it. And I went down there about a week ahead of time, the day after that, the day after that, so it was about 3-4 days ahead of time. And each time it was disconnected until it got to 2 days before, and I put an urgent or an emergency on this message out that we really needed it by 2 p.m. We're going to cancel it. And I'm just wondering if there could be a more direct response if we have trouble with that, as opposed to having to go through 3 or 4 emails.
Sure. So I guess with the movie theater, specifically the movie theater, and that internet is a little bit of we're kind of between 2 areas, because it was an IT issue with the connectivity of the internet, and then I guess my departments as well, because we're kind of interlaced with that programming. So I think there was a little bit of that going on. I also think that we didn't know what the issue was. So I was told by Joe that the issue was taken care of, and it kind of snowballed into different issues, and that wasn't taken care of. But yeah, I mean, please just loop me in on those emails moving forward, and I'll do my best to troubleshoot them and make sure everything's taken care of. I apologize that we had to miss a showing. Everything went well yesterday?
Yes,
Good.
it went fine.
Good. I think there's some stuff going on in the background too, with the movie theater. So hopefully that will help as well. If there's, stuff being altered in the movie theater when you're not there, I'm not there, other people aren't there, so yeah, I apologize that we missed that showing, and we'll do everything we can to make sure that does not become a problem.
I would add one further thing, that the movie committee is starting to implement sign-in procedure for anybody who goes up to watch a DVD on their own. We suspect that in the past there have been several people going up to use it, which is fine by me. But they start messing with the settings,
Yep,
and then that throws everything off.
yep,
And so we are going to initiate a sign-in sheet where if somebody wants to use it, they just merely need to go down to the front desk and sign in and just say when they're going to be using it. And we're going to leave a set of instructions on the DVD player, just step by step what you need to do to get it going.
wonderful.
And the last thing is that if there's a problem with it, if the DVD isn't loading correctly, have patience and walk away. Don't try to fix it, just report it so that we can deal with it.
Do it.
Start pressing buttons and
That's
then,
what happened.
and then everything falls out of place.
Yeah,
right?
right.
And, you know, once we get some details, instructions, I can absolutely e-blast those as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, so you just let me know.
I will say that the signs are already up there, the remotes are labeled. We haven't done the sign-in thing yet, but
Sure.
the sign is up there, the remotes are labeled. Please, please, please do not try to use Netflix.
And we are working on, I did talk to Joe, at some point, we're gonna strengthen the connectivity of that box that connects to the movie theater. So, yeah.
I would say one other thing about that for the movie community. You know, that one cabinet on the left is full of DVDs that have been donated. And Richard has spent a lot of time down on his knees alphabetizing those. We came up the other day and there's a whole pile of them just sitting on top that haven't been returned. So now somebody has to go through the same thing.
Right.
So just to be the same courtesy that you would give anybody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, with it being kind of an open public space
Yeah, and it should be.
for the community, right? You know, just ensuring we have that courtesy to everyone that uses it. Absolutely.
And I will admit that when I went up to put the signs up, I put all of those down in the right-hand cabinet. I just put them down there, the ones that we put on. I didn't alphabetize anything.
Marilyn?
Could you talk a little bit about the plans for the pickle processing?
Yeah, so, absolutely, so Scott and I are just working on it now. So, last year, we did everything in BT1, we're gonna do that in the Creativity Center this year. We're still working on what that process is gonna look like, so Polly was there last year, who else? I think Joanne was there last year, Marilyn was there, Nancy was there, I don't know if anyone else in here was there. The process we had didn't really, I think we put too much emphasis on like, hey, we're gonna cut pickles on these days, and I think we said 2 days just for the cutting, and we were done in the first day. So Scott and I kind of have to look at that, so we'll probably do a cutting day and then a canning day.
And will there be a sign-up, and how many people do you think you're going to need? And
Yeah, we haven't got that far yet, but I think everyone's invited. I'm just gonna invite everyone to come down and help. But maybe we'll look at putting some more detailed instructions of what that's gonna look like. But, you know, I know last year we just had some people that came to hang out, so I'm totally fine with that as well. I think just being there and hearing the stories about how this has been done for 140 years and stuff is just pretty cool as well. So, yeah, I'll get some more information out about that and what that whole process is gonna look like and how we're gonna do it.
You know, will you have us return the old pickle jars this year?
No, we're not gonna do any pickle return. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, those are your guys' jars to keep. And we have some new jars this year, so.
The other question is, will there be any little flyer or something accompanying with the pickles to have some interesting points about the history of the pickle making? Goes back, or no, is that?
Like when they're being sold, or when they're
Right,
being
the ones
bought?
that are being sold.
I mean, maybe, that's a good idea, maybe I can talk with, Diane and we can get something in the general store. Like a little handout when people go in and buy them. And I think that's mostly the area we're selling them out of, correct? I don't think we sell them in anywhere out of the, other than the general store, so we can put something, maybe a little flyer out in the general store. I wanna be conscious of not having a ton of paper, and just handing out that willy-nilly, but I totally agree, let's have some information, about that process, cause I think it's awesome to be able to talk about it and to let people know, especially people that don't know.
It could be even a little bit on a card or something like
Yeah.
that.
Why don't you make it a sticker? You know, that's stickers on the jar.
Yeah, we can do something, yeah, I just gotta, the jars we have ridges on them. And, you know, the ball and 300 milliliters, 200 milliliters, so I don't think they'd stick correctly. I know we put the sticker on the top, but that's more like, hey, ECP Pickles doesn't really have information related to
Too small.
the history, yeah, and they're kind of small, so, I mean, that's a great idea, I just would need to figure out how we could do that. You know, another thing we could do is get some yarn maybe, or twine. I know I've seen stuff that they wrap around the outside of the jar, and then there's a little placard that kind of hangs with it, so. Yep, so that's, we can look into some different stuff as well, but, yeah, it's, pickles are right around the corner, I think that's 2 weeks, so, yeah, I need to start prepping now, thank you. I'll get some more information on that.
Well, it's a start.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But just a general comment, since you've been aboard, I think things are running extremely smoothly with all that you're responsible for in terms of communications, the number of activities that we have. You're to be commended for doing a wonderful job, and I think you're being pulled in every which direction by many of us, but it is operating very smoothly. I really like it.
Thank you, love to hear that. And, you know, to go back to that, Richard, I think there's obviously things we can clean up. You know, when it comes to communication, when it comes to activities, when it comes to how much information we're getting out, the details. But like you said, I think there's a lot of different ways to pull. I'm meeting with the communications committee on Friday to discuss some of those communications and how we can kind of make that flow easier to everybody. And I shouldn't really say easier, I mean, that's not the right word, more efficiently, I guess is the right word. I think we throw information at you guys, but lots of different ways. So how can we make that a little more concise, you know, and I've already got some ideas, so, yeah. Sandra?
Will you explain to everybody how it works with the gal who's coming to talk about Medicare?
Yeah, so Stacy was here last month to give a talk on Medicare. I don't know how many of you were here, but it was more a high level of what's happening in 2025 and the changes that were going on. She is coming back on the 28th. So in the morning, she's doing a presentation directly related to people who have plans with United, I believe. Yep, United Health. So myself and Amy from admissions looked at everyone's policies and what they had, and a majority of our East Castle residents had a United Healthcare policy. So that's going to be a ANOC, or an annual notice of change. So what has changed in those plans? So that's going to be specific to people who have United Healthcare. Additionally, she is going to be staying after the presentation, and then she's going to be coming back on, I believe, November 8th to meet with folks one-on-one who have additional questions related to Medicaid, Medicare. She is a licensed broker, so if you guys do have any questions about getting more information or having a new policy, she can help you out with that too, but this is more of an informational thing to help residents understand. I know the biggest thing is there's lots of changes with prescription drugs in 2025, at least from what she's told me. So just bringing in those resources to help residents understand those changes and get notified of those changes.
So we have another animal in addition to Medicare and Medicaid.
Yes.
That we don't have to worry about.
You don't, however, if there's, if there's a group of people who have Humana, or if there's a group of people who have WPS, or I don't know what the other insurance providers, she can do a presentation specifically on one of those, which was our thinking with United Healthcare. We have, I think, 30-ish residents in independent living who have that. So if there's a need, she can absolutely do that, or those one-on-one meetings that I sent an email about, she can help with that as well. Yeah.
Because then she'll be able to choose from all the policies available and pick the one that is best suited to your medical needs.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then she can sell it to you. I mean, she's a broker, she can do the same as anybody else where you buy it from.
Yeah. And I understand that she's a broker and she's, she can sell insurance, but she's more here for informational purposes. And obviously, if you're looking for an insurance plan, she can assist with that as well. So, Nancy?
This is our first year on changing to something like this. Am I under the assumption that if you do not wish to change, there's nothing you need to do?
Right. Yes.
I'm not 100% sure, but I believe so.
That's
Yes.
true. If you do nothing, you stay with whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
You should have gotten something in the mail that tells you about all the changes from your policy to the next one. And you can see there are quite a few. And I understand from my lunch partners that Humana is in trouble.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. And,
Is it back on the Wall Street Journal?
yeah.
Are they affiliated with Bank of America?
There's an
That's where they get
article
the
in
finance.
Wall Street Journal,
Yeah.
the issues.
Yeah, that's Humana.
At Bank of America?
Yeah.
Oh, Humana.
Yeah, it's been in trouble before I got out.
Yeah, it's a D. Or D.
Wall Street Journal.
Anything else? Randall?
Just wanted to say that the Here Wisconsin bus has been here twice now. And from what I'm hearing, the people that have taken advantage of it have been very well pleased with the initial contact, but also the follow-through. And I don't know if there's anybody here who has used it, but if you have a need, I really would strongly suggest that you give it a try.
Is this the audiologist?
Pardon?
The audiologist?
RDO.
The audiologist, right?
Yeah.
I just used it here, north here, and I couldn't, I can't say that. And if we don't use it, it'll go away.
If you don't use it, you lose it?
Yeah, I should have priced it.
Yeah.
So you make appointments with the audiologist?
What happens is you get a hold of, what I was told is you get a hold of Teresa and tell her you want to be included in the list for the next time they come. Apparently they're coming the first Tuesday of the month. And then they call you and they set an appointment and they get your email address and they email you like 4 pages that you need to fill out and bring with you to the appointment.
Then they do a free test.
They did a full test on me the other day, and then she sat down afterwards with the chart and showed me what the issues were or weren't, and sent me home with the chart. and said, I'll see you in a year. So it was all excellent. I mean, everything about it was,
And then they send you to the doctor who, or the people who sell the hearing aids, anybody you want, you go from there.
I think that didn't become an issue for me because I was okay, but we didn't have that discussion. But I assume, yes, that they then say, okay, you could probably use these or whatever. you know.
The hearing test is, if you have not had a hearing test for a year, the hearing test is covered by Medicare. And if your test shows that you would benefit from hearing aids, there are various kinds that are available, and the audiologist can guide you into the ones that are most appropriate for your needs. If you already have hearing aids and you need to have them adjusted, then there is a fee of $40 for each hearing aid. So $40 for the right, $40 for the left.
And we also have a nurse practitioner that's coming once a week, I believe. So that is also a newer service as well.
Thursdays, sometimes.
I believe so. I don't remember
Still
exactly.
in the elevator.
Janet?
What kind of things does the nurse practitioner cover? What would we be allowed to go down and see her about?
I think anybody can go and see her, but that's a Teresa question.
Oh.
That's not in my scope, but since we're talking about it, I just wanted to let you guys know that that service is available. But from what my understanding is, if you're not feeling good, you don't have to have an appointment. You can just go down and they can diagnose. But specific questions, Teresa,
Okay.
for that, yeah.
Now, where is the office?
For what the nurse practitioner is,
Yeah.
she's in the Carolyn Newwald Health Center Clinic. So that is, if you're going to Tyler's office, right across from HR, so on the left-hand side of Bradford Terrace. In the, I don't know, administrative offices corridor, maybe that's the best word for it.
First floor?
First floor, yep. First floor by those Bradford Terrace to the left.
It's the first door on the left.
Yep, yep.
They said that.
Oh, I can't hear. I've been there.
Well, that's why we brought up the audiologist. Anyone else? All right.
You want to say something about offering ideas for activities, or too many of this, too much of that?
Yeah,
Too
absolutely.
little of this?
Absolutely. I mean, if there's any ideas, I'll just remind you guys, our lifestyle committee is an open committee, so anyone is welcome to come. If you don't want to come and you have an idea, please bring that to myself, bring that to Rita, or somebody on the committee. And, if it's just an idea and you don't even want to talk about it, fill out a sheet, a proposed event idea sheet. You can get them at the front desk and drop that off, put it in my mailbox, bring it to me. Does everyone know where my office is? Nobody, some people don't?
No.
So if you go to Bradford Terrace, you go to the second floor, all the way down to the left, last door on the left is me. So we've had a few of you in here who have visited me. So I'm literally like right above Anna, if you guys know where Anna's office is. So you can bring that to me personally, you can put it in my mailbox. But, I've said this and I'll say it again. I want our programming to be resident ran. I want to help with facilitating everything, but I don't want to make those ideas. Not because I don't want to, but just because I don't feel like that's my job. My job is to help facilitate your ideas. So I want all of our residents to be involved in that, and kind of I'm just in the background, bringing you where you need to go, setting up the tour, setting up the reservations, getting the tickets, that kind of thing. So, Nancy?
I said it to you and I'll say it publicly. The IHOP outing last week was tremendous.
It was. I loved it.
I would love to see that on some kind of a regular rotation.
Okay, yeah. That was a very fun event, yeah. How many people in here have rode on the hop? That was my first time. It was fun.
And it's free.
It's free,
Yeah.
and it's free.
That's the best part.
Joanne?
Okay, to be more of a sober topic, I just wanted to remind everyone that on Monday, October 14th, Dr. Annie Friedrichs will be here again to talk about end-of-life issues, to make sure all your paperwork is in order and things that you need to talk about with your family, if you have any questions, and if you need any help with filling out a healthcare POA, power of attorney or anything, she will have those things and be available to help. So we were offering this again this fall because of the fact we know we have so many new residents who have come in since, I think it was January, February, she did her last workshop.
Awesome.
So anyway, you're all invited. 1:30.
And then I'll just give some kind of real updates on our outings here. So the outing on Friday to the art museum, I'm totally booked up. I think I have 18 people, including the waiting list. I know there's a lot of people that are gonna drive themselves. I talked to Harbor House, I can't add any more reservations as far as eating. So if you have any questions with that, please reach out to me. But right now I have 18 people signed up, including 4 on the wait list and some people driving themselves. So can't fit anyone more on there, unfortunately. Peck and Bushel, I don't know if anyone here is signed up for that, but that's an organic apple farm out in Colgate, Wisconsin. I've actually been there with my wife. It's very cool. I don't know if anyone else here has been out there. Pat, I see is saying she's been there. Awesome, perfect. So there's a cute shop where you can, get apple cider, get apple cider donuts, get different knickknacks for the kitchen and things like that. Great gifts. And then if you walk to the back, you can actually pick apples as well. So I think it's, we'll leave that up to kind of what the group is feeling. If some people want to hang out, by the shop, they can do that. If some people want to go pick some apples, they can do that as well. The symphony returns on the 11th. You need to have tickets prior to that. If you have questions about that, I may be able still to get people some symphony tickets if they're interested in purchasing them. What else? Paul Halbrick's Forest Home Tours. So there's a walking tour on the 15th and a bus tour on the 18th. I guess the best thing I can say is with the 15th, that is going to be, that's weather permitting, obviously. If it's not, we can figure out a second date. And then I have not put those signups are not online yet. If we have oh, they are? Okay, perfect. If we do, they must have went up today. Did they go up today?
Today.
Okay, perfect, all right. Please don't fret. So with the walking tour, if there's no room, you guys can still come drive your own cars. With the bus tour, we can possibly do a second bus tour. So depending on what that interest is, we'll go from there.
And Paul said that the walking part is gonna be just on the gravel road.
Yeah.
We won't be walking across bumpy grass and where it's uneven and we have a chance of falling, so.
Yeah, and I think it's about a 90-minute,
Yeah.
60 to 90 minute.
About an hour, what did he say yesterday, a mile, 1.6 miles.
Yeah.
Walking.
Yeah.
Is there a topic to where the walking tour is? Is it the beer barons? Is it the women? Is it, because usually those tours is selected areas.
I think he covers it all.
Yeah.
I think he
Oh,
covers
Lord,
it
you
all.
could be walking
Yesterday, his
10
tour,
hours.
if you saw his presentation, it kind of was a variety of things and people.
Well,
And
maybe
those
not
ones,
all.
when they do the tours, have a time to sign up for.
I think he's
Which are different
open.
legacies in fact.
There are different tours. On Sundays, they have various tours, Civil War, Black History, Brewers, and so they're all different. I think he will combine
Yep,
some of them.
yep. And then, the 23rd, Henry Winkler is gonna be at the Oriental Theater, in correlation with Boswell Books, so I believe he's got a memoir that's coming out. We are providing transportation to that. I think there's a few people signed up. You would be responsible for tickets, and then we'll just provide those transportation services. So it's a little bit different than stuff we've done in the past, but it is a nighttime activity. And then on the 25th, going back to MOA out in West Bend, so. And we have an extra happy hour this month as well. I should also, I also want to preface the 24th with the trick or treat. If you're interested in handing out candy, please send me an email, and I'll make sure the kiddos come to your room.
What time are they coming?
They're coming at 4. So they'll start here at 4 and then shove off to the different rooms. I know last year, I think we did it just in here, which was fine, but I think it'll be a little funner to go.
So they're only going to go to the people that sign up?
Correct. Correct.
And who are they? A group from preschoolers or?
They're a group of, actually Betty's granddaughter leads the group, so it's her group, and they're all different ages.
Okay.
I'd say they're all,
It's some of the county.
yeah, I think they're all different ages, but I'd say they're mostly under 10. And sometimes mom and dad, or just dad come as well, so, yeah. It's a great group, we're very fortunate to have them, so, yeah.
Was there some other time we're handing out candy on Downer? Did I make that up?
Yeah, on I think it's the 19th. So we did this last year, but the Downer Business District has offered to let us have a booth, and I sent the email, and I know I had a few people respond as well to volunteer to hand out candy. So I'll provide the candy, and Anna's actually going to be, Anna from marketing is going to be here with the group as well.
So it's gonna be a little booth with advertising for East Castle.
Yep. Well, I wouldn't say advertising for East Castle. I mean, we'll have our
Well,
thing out there, but we're gonna be, passing out candy. I don't think we're gonna have any flyers of,
you
hey,
don't
come to
think
East
marketing is
Castle.
counting and it's just gonna hand out candy?
That's what I was told.
Okay.
That's
Well,
what
I
was told.
actually think that's better, because last year when, like, the councils did it, I mean, I knew who they were, but basically they were just two people sitting on a corner handing kids candy. I would have, as a parent, I would have been a little suspicious of that. So I think having an official kind of looking spot is.
It was official, there was an official, like a tablecloth.
Yeah.
That said East Castle.
No, they were just in chairs up in the corner.
No, I was with them. It was a-
Last year, that might have been the year before.
Maybe it was the.
Yeah.
Because we were there last year.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and then, wasn't there a tablecloth that said
They
East
had our
Castle?
name on it, yes.
You know, and some of your people were in costumes, I think, too, the costumes.
The kids were, but not.
But Mary had.
Yeah, Mary did, Mary did.
No, I didn't.
I didn't either, but Mary had.
Oh, yeah, she did, yeah.
There's a wonderful witch's hat in the treasure chest, if anybody.
25 cents.
Well, we have a costume contest on the 31st, so I think, I don't think she's here. I think Terry Sumberg won last year.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, I don't see her here.
She's up to making her costume.
All right. Oh. You guys better
No pressure.
It's a challenge.
catch up. Anything else?
Well, this is just,
Arlene.
but back in the good old days before COVID,
every once in a while, we used to have a mystery tour. You didn't know where you were going, you got on the bus, and I remember one time we looked at all the sculptures up and down Wisconsin Avenue. And we went to a neighborhood on the south side, we went to the neighborhood on the north side. Those were very popular.
Sure. I know you brought that up before. I don't know if I brought it to lifestyle specifically. So I will add that to my list. I just have to think about how we do that and what days.
And we stopped for ice cream.
And when we do that.
Oh, well, that's good.
And what that would look like, yeah. But I got that down here.
Yeah, good ideas, anybody who has good ideas, and ask your friends and neighbors. Just the other day, we had our happy hour on the third floor, and I just threw out there, anybody have any ideas? And came up with a list of people who were thinking about things they wanted to do. So, you know, at your happy hour, you know, sometime grab a piece of paper and a pencil or something and throw it out there, and it's amazing how many ideas came up in a small amount of time. So whenever you have a chance, you know, and then get them done.
And it's interesting to hear about things that were done pre-COVID.
Yeah,
Because so much was dropped.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, a lot of people, that's where several things that were coming up, you know, where we're, remember when we did, and now it's time to do it again, you know, so, yeah.
And when does the lifestyle committee meet?
The first and third Tuesday at
Twice
3
a month.
o'clock. So come on
In the
in,
boardroom.
join us. It's a good group,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, sure, we're all part of it.
That's right.
Wonderful. Any other questions?
I will say that I think the forms that you would fill out, I think they're at the desk, not the front desk, the desk in the library.
Okay. The
There's
table?
There's a basket there with some files in it, and they're in that. I think if you ask at the front desk, they're gonna say, I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyone else? All right. You guys got me out of here 5 minutes to spare. Now I gotta go get poked now. Push me away.
Are you getting both shots, all 3 shots, or are you getting?
I am getting the flu shot.
No COVID?
All they have is the flu shot.
Okay, that's all they have.
That's all they got for me.
And you're required, staff's required to have.
Staff is required to have it, yeah. I am not, we're not fortunate to get all 3 at one time.
Are you required to have COVID as well?
No. Well, I don't know. I had it, but I don't think it was required. So,
I just want to thank everybody, and I'm sure all of you have talked to me about my photos, and I really appreciate it.
Well, we really thank you for having us.
That's fine. Now, those are up next month.
I believe until November 15th.
Is this November?
I don't, Lynn Woodard would have some more info, yeah.
And I hear people who want to buy them. Yeah, I'm out, when I'm in the hallway, and people are looking, and they're like, there are no prices on these.
No, that's true.
You're not selling.
Well, I had the option of doing that, but I didn't do it.
And I think the art committee did such a great job hanging.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, they did.
You too.
Yeah, we did a great job.
So I think we have to ask in what form they want them and that kind of thing, as far as how to get a copy of a different kind of the same picture or whatever that can be done. You know, 'cause most of them I had done online. You can have different sizes on there and what you want with them, so.
Wonder if we could make a set of cards. That would be wonderful.
Well, you mean small pictures? or-
Just a note card with the pictures on.
Okay, you can do that. Because most of them are on my phone.
Oh, okay.
That's actually a great idea.
I mean, I think that would be terrific if we could do that.
Well, let's talk about that.
Wonderful. Well, everyone have a wonderful day. 6 o'clock, Go Brewers.
Yes. Last chance.
Although I think there's a couple Cubs fans in here. No, they're out. They're out. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.